satisfaction or not in the result of election. Okay. So at the very beginning, the US government, especially in the federal level, they wanted to preserve or protect the monopoly status. But somehow, the monopoly at that time, the Bell system, or we call them AT&T, became too big, out of control, like we have discussed last time. And then the government want to introduce some competition, or at least use some kind of regulatory measures. There were actually several regulatory measures. One of them is called quarantine. Quarantine. But we all know what quarantine is right now, right? Under this pandemic situation, quarantine is to stay in one area. Quarantine. I guess spell like this. Okay, so one of the regulatory measures at that time is to block some carriers to get into another market, to tell them to stay in your own region. Do not across your region to operate in another area. So that's called quarantine. Another is called the structural separation. That means to impose the obligation. Okay, it was very similar to the situation that we talk about the functional separation in the European Union. That in the EU telecoms framework. But at that time, that was a very primitive idea. Structural separation means actually it's very similar. Suppose it's a vertically integrated telecom. There are other departments. And by structural separation, it means this vertically integrated carrier at that time is Bell. It has to somehow separate its wholesale department and to provide equal access to other telcos. Under a reasonable, non-discriminatory term and condition. So actually, the breakup of the Bell system in 1984 as a result of the modification of final judgment is actually the combination of these two. The first, like we have discussed last time, the Bell system was broken up into eight companies. The first one is AT&T company. Is still provide long distance service to like within the U.S. territory. But then there are 7 regional bell operating companies. And those regional bell operating companies, the so-called baby bells, they could only operate in their own region, that is shown here. So the baby bell here, they cannot cross border to operate in another market, and it cannot enter to another market, and so with other baby bells. And also at the same time, well, there's no, okay, that's it. The breakup of the bell system in 1984 was like this, the combination of the quarantine, the structural separation, to break up the AT&T the bell system into 8 companies, including AT&T company, which provides long distance telecom services, and the 7 baby bell companies. And then after the breakup of the bell system, like a few years later, the US government found there's still not sufficient competition in those areas, in those 7 areas. Okay, the government at that time was satisfied with the competition in the long distance market, because there was, in that modification of final judgment, there was no limitation in the long distance market. So AT&T had to face competition from the new competitors, like the MCA we have discussed last time. However, in the local area, those baby bells remain the monopolies in their areas, and the FCC and the government found there were not sufficient competition in each region, so they want to introduce new law, new mechanism to enhance the competition in those areas. Okay, that's the beginning of 1996. We will talk more about the Telecommunications Act of 1986 later. Okay, and the last time we talked about the regulators in the U.S. telecom industry, and as we have somehow discussed last time, the FCC, the regulating law, the binding law are for the telecoms market. They are okay. So let's not forget about the okay. There was Communication Act of 1934, and then there were and as we have discussed in the past, the Telecommunications Act of 1996 was it was used to amend the Communications Act. So if, for example, maybe there are a lot of areas, a lot of provisions in the 1934 Communications Act, and the Telecommunications Act 1996 amend some of them. But for those not have not been amended by Telecommunications Act 1996, will remain binding, will remain in power. Okay. So those are the binding laws of the U.S. telecoms market, just for the market. So the FCC is the agent to regulate using the Telecommunications Act and the Communication Act to regulate the market. And then the second regulator is the Public Utility Commission in each state. They, for historical reasons, they kind of, each state has a Public Utility Commission and regulate the telecoms industry in each state. And sometimes it causes conflict between the federal level and the state level. And they are also the competition law regulator in the United States. We call them antitrust law regulator, which include the Federal Trade Commission and the Department of Justice and other courts. So how do they share the power among each other? How do these regulators share the power among each other? Well, that was clarified in the 2004 case, Verizon versus Twinkle. Well, as we have discussed last time, so I think I say this case was a appeal court case. I'm sorry about that. It was a Supreme Court case. My apologies. It was a Supreme Court case. Okay. So Verizon was the incumbent in that area, in New York area. And Twinkle was a user of the new entrant. So here we have so Verizon was actually one of the baby bells. And after several merger and acquisition, it changed its brand name to Verizon. But anyhow, it was still the monopoly in its home area. It's called in New York State. And Twinkle was not a carrier, was not a telco. It was the user of a new entrant. And because that was the time when local competition was opened up, that new entrant was in fact AT&T company. It sought to enter into this market. So at that time, AT&T company was the new entrant. And why did Twinkle want to sue Verizon? Okay, the reason is, Twinkle asserts Verizon as an incumbent when it provides access to the new entrant, AT&T. It used discriminatory terms of condition of interconnection